Last episode we dealt with fights and drama in this squad to finally find our form, and now we have to push on and show what we got this time around. Hey, what's going on, guys? Respect the Jeff, and I am back with another episode of this Schalke career. This is a huge one, guys. We play into January, we sell some players, we make new signings, plenty of drama coming up. You won't want to miss a second of this episode if you want to stay posted the rest of this season here. We are in 8th place right now, not too far off of a promotion spot. I don't want to jinx us here, so we'll see how things pan out, but we've definitely picked up our form and at the right time here. Like I said, coming into January, 4 games leading in, and then 3 clear weeks in the calendar to get our business done. So let's get straight to it. And hey, if you guys want to stay up to date, or if you've just been enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. Helps the channel out a ton. And without further ado, let's do this. Alright, here we go, back on the pitch off the back of a couple good results at the tail end of last episode. We started to find our form, I guess, with the 3-5-2. It's kind of hit or miss. I mean, defensively liable for sure, with only 3 players in the back, but with Brook and Chandan up top going forwards, hopefully we just outscore opponents. We'll have to see how sustainable this is, but for the meantime, we roll with what we've been doing, but unfortunately for us, that means conceding a goal, and the man at the center of it, once again, is Malik Chaw. Unfortunately for us, for those of you who didn't catch last episode, a ton of transfer rumors linking him with some of the bigger teams in Germany after he had such a great season last year, but unfortunately for us this year, his mind just seems to be elsewhere, and he is making mistake after mistake, and that one completely not marking his man to let the goal in. And now we find ourselves about 80 minutes into this game and desperate for a goal, throwing everything we have on it, working the ball around. Fabian out there on the left-hand side finds Oaks on the overlap, who tries to cross it, and we're throwing everything we got at this, but unfortunately it is not enough. 90 minutes in now, Kutuju coming on as a sub and looking to make an impact, saved by the goalkeeper. Well, one of our strikers has to step up. It's Kutuju, who's really been the odd man out all season, not scoring at the rate that Brook and Chandan are. He's found himself on the bench, coming off of it, still looking to impress, but unfortunately, another header goes wide there, this time from Shaw, who's having not the best run of games here. Sees us suffer defeat in our first game of the episode. 1-0, it's a close one, but again, just not quite good enough from the team. We need to see better going forward and in defense. Let's move on. Alright, straight back into action. For this one, though, Malik Chaw has been dropped again. Just a frustration with the defender really not being consistent. We know what he's capable of, and at his best, he's a shoo-in for the starting 11. I mean, he's probably the best player we've had in the squad. He was the best defender by a mile in the league last season, and looked to keep that up in the first couple games this season, but unfortunately it wasn't sustainable, and he's just making too many mistakes, too much of a liability to keep playing. And we got to carry on life without him, really, not only because of the mistakes he's making, but if he ends up leaving, we're going to have to find some kind of replacement within the squad for it. Frustration building in the team, though, also at a lack of chances going forwards. Chandan there, our captain, getting the better of him, coming in with a hard challenge and a deserved foul against us. And we're just desperate for something here, coming into the second half, blasting shots from distance, and still nothing. The team is struggling in a big way these last 2 games. Egil Brook looking to make something happen up top with his pace, and he chips one over the top. Jefferson Farfan, well, he never stops running despite a lack of clear-cut chances, and he's still going here. Jefferson Farfan, can we make something happen with 15 minutes left? Egil Brook in front of goal, it's blocked, and again Schalke can't capitalize on the chance. 91 minutes gone, and the ball played through, whistle blown. That's a harsh one. We were on the breakaway, but 0-0 is this result. Again, it's a poor one from the team, not good enough, and we're starting to slip up here. We're just not looking like our former selves. Fabian nowhere to be seen. We got to get the best out of our players. Well, out of desperation, looking for someone to get up there and score goals, Ahmed Kutucu is given the start up top. Egil Brook given a little rest here. Obviously, he's still a huge player in our plans, but he's young, and we just really don't need to be relying on him through tough stretches. I don't want to put too much pressure on his shoulders as he develops. So it's our 2 slightly more senior strikers. I guess Kutucu maybe not senior, but more developed at this point. And he's through on goal, but he is offsides, and the tough run just continues for the striker who is desperate to impress. Nice ball over the top, though, finds Farfan. Can he grab an assist here? Maybe. Farfan cutting inside, looking to go off his left foot. Not too far off at all. trying to take the game into his own hands here. Some of the more senior players really giving it their all, and Farfan again. This time he opts to make the pass. Can't quite make that right decision. Kutucu almost on the end of it, and we just keep going. Ahmed Kutucu desperate to make something happen and catch the eye of the manager here, and he rips another shot off the center back there. Not a bad game all in all from him so far, but yet to find the back of the net, and that goes for Chandan as well as everyone else in the team. As we continue to bomb forwards, we've dominated the game. Nothing to show for it. Kutucu again from distance, saved by the goalkeeper. We just can't score. 25 minutes in, now it's off the corner, punched away, but was still got at the edge of the area. Timo Becker, the right back, flicks it up, looking for the spectacular, and somehow it falls to the feet of Kutucu, who gets on the end of it, puts it in the back of the net, and finally our striker has his goal, and he has made good off of this appearance here, finally getting the start after what's been pretty rough of a start for him this season. Timo Becker, how about that? The confidence. And a bit fortunate, but we'll take it. Unfortunately, though, right back in our direction, the goal is equalized 1-1. The opposition scores, and Paderborn find themselves on level terms, and not only that, they go up early in the second half, 2-1, scoring another goal, and we just can't keep ourselves together defensively. Something's got to change here, and after a quick little sim here, because I was short on time, we equal it up through Chandan, and I can't just let this game go decided by a sim. So it's 2-2 at this point, and all hands on deck, really. 15 minutes left, bombing up and down the pitch. Both teams just desperate to get themselves in front here. Farfan looking for a way through. Chandan rolls the ball and plays through Kutucu, who is having an absolutely outstanding game. And between the two of them, they link up for another goal. 3-2. Schalke take themselves in front. And with 10 minutes remaining in the game, you gotta feel that that just might be the goal that settles it. So we look forward to the end of this game, but unfortunately for us, the header comes in off of a corner here. 2 minutes remaining. We concede again. 3-3. Nightmare at the back. And I just don't know what to do. Chaw still remains on the bench. We just can't win because if he's in the lineup, he's making mistakes. If he's out of it, we don't look as solid as when we have him. And something's got to give here. We're coming up towards January. We can make some new signings, but for the meantime, we got to hang on. All right, well, the talk of the town after that game is Ahmed Kutucu. Fantastic game, and we gotta say he was first class, scoring 2 of those goals, getting linked up plenty of times. He could have had a few more, if I'm being completely honest. So, is he in our plans for the future? Well, hopefully. Maybe he'll get a start after this one. Brook probably just given a little bit of a rest here. He's tailed off. We know what kind of impact he can make as a sub. In the meantime, though, we have a couple players running out of contracts here. Robin Himmelman, far and away the player we need to keep the most. Our goalkeeper has been vital to the team. Maybe not as outstanding as he was last year, but we're keeping him around for another year, so he is signed back up. Now, the other two are Kutucu and Bujaleb. Honestly, 2 players who have kind of fallen out of favor recently. Kutucu, a little uptick in form recently, but unfortunately for us, he did not take our delegated offer, and he's not looking to renew a contract, so he might be moving on in January to try to salvage something. Same goes for Bujaleb, neither player particularly interested in sticking around after not having been in our plans the last couple of months, really year for that matter. So we get back to games here ahead of the January window opening. Let's get to it. All right, here we go, back into action again, and desperate for a win at this point. We just can't seem to buy one at this point. Defense not looking good. Offense sporadically good, but it seems the times they are, we just concede so many, we're not getting points from this game. And the team's starting to look a little bit shaken here. You can see players diving into challenges they shouldn't be making and just can't really seem to get their footing in these games. We're just scrambling at times. Hawkins trying to fly out for that one. And if it wasn't for a fantastic save by Himmelman, that would have been another goal conceded. We just have to make something change here. Sane is given the start out on the left-hand side, and it's a player who really, despite all of his potential, hasn't quite fulfilled it. But talking about Sane, while Farfan's on the other end scoring here. Lovely goal from our winger. And from time to time, he is popping up in important moments. Jefferson Farfan, although he is getting up there with age, I think 37 at this point in the career, he still has a bit of class about him and is showing that this season. But unfortunately for us, a chance in behind could see us concede again. Himmelman stands up to it, and maybe because he signed that new contract, he's looking up for the challenge again and back to his best form. CD Sane now out on the wing, and Shirley going to create a chance here. Sane looking to put a ball in, and it's blocked again. Just disappointing there from the winger. We're giving every chance to him, but he's really just not taking it so far. But we'll continue to put our faith behind the guy until something really puts a wrench in that plan. So we'll continue to let him develop, and hopefully with time he'll start to grow in a little more important of a role in the side here. Kutuju and Shandon looking for the link up again, and Kutuju obviously playing really well in that last game, gets the start this time again. Brook off the bench this time, hopefully making an impact late in the game. 83 minutes though, and we continue to fall under pressure here, just trying to make sure we don't concede. If we can hang on here, we can finally pull ourselves through to a victory. Only 5 minutes left, but Sidi Sane clattering challenge there, and the opposition continues to bomb forwards, looking for a way through here. Scheiber, Rubal, oh no, it's a fantastic passing sequence and some poor defending again that sees us concede with only a minute remaining. Oh man, try as we might, nothing is going our way, and it's just not good enough from Schalke. The three at the back not necessarily paying off these days as we are conceding goals for fun. With not a lot of time left, this game looks to be over. Bujaleb playing out from the back. Bozdogan, we just can't find that ball through, and the whistle blows. Unfortunately for us, it's another draw, and that is 5 games without a win. Really horrible run of results, if I'm going to be honest. We went from looking at maybe getting in the promotion race to probably facing kind of back down there towards the relegation zone. We'll see after this game exactly how close it is, but something has got to change, like I've been saying here. And it's up to us as manager to make that happen. In the meantime, a couple youth players are unsettled and would like to make the call up to the first team. And honestly, I mean, we've had good success so far. We're not going to kick any of these players out, especially considering they are all real-life academy players, and we'd like to see them grow in the team. So, Enu Bodem, forgive my pronunciation if that's not right, the right back is called up. He's quick, he's physical, and with a little bit of growth, he could be a really solid player. Not necessarily ready for first-team minutes, but maybe we'll loan him out in January. Campanile probably is our backup right back for the time being. Corey Towski as well, 57 overall. Again, a player who has a lot of potential ahead of him. He's only 17, but with the 3 strikers we already have in contention, I don't think he'll be looking at many minutes, so we'll probably loan him out as well. But just so you guys know who's coming into the squad, those are the 2 new signings. And with that, really, we head into January, only 2 days away. We got 2 games later in the month, but we have 3 weeks to get our business done, so we're going to load all of these players onto the transfer list. All the players who have barely featured or not featured at all are getting thrown on there. They deserve a chance to grow in the meantime. Malik Shaw, though, unfortunately for us, it's finally come to fruition. FC Bayern have come in with a huge $15 million offer, and who are we to say no? The player gets his dream move, and we get a dream sum of money for a team in our situation. You can see all these players have been loaned out as well. The players who weren't really going to feature for the rest of the season, the youngsters, they'll be back next season and in contention for a spot depending on where we end up. Hopefully we're not getting relegated this season, but time will tell. In the meantime, something's got to give. The 3 at the back is not working. We saw a couple sparkles of brilliance from the team going forward, but we need a little more stability. And if there was going to be any time to go back to my preferred formation, which is a 4-3-3, it's this kind of year where we're building. Realistically, we're not getting promoted. We're not going to get relegated. Fingers crossed, I guess. But this is the kind of year where we can kind of build around the system we want, start signing players we want, and then really start making a push for promotion in time back to the Bundesliga. So a lot of players out. It was a cluttered squad, so I think that's a good thing. We have a pretty balanced team at the moment. I think we could use a couple signings, but I'm going to wait until the end of the window to see who really fits into this team. A couple players I'm going to give them one more chance to with this final game here in January. So we're desperate for results. Let's go out there and try to get it. It's a home match in front of the home fans. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. Schalke desperate for a win. It's been a horrendous run of results. We've seen glimpses of what we can do in those, but I mean, it just hasn't been good enough. So, little switch in formation. Hopefully, that'll turn the tides just a little bit here, and it's all we can do at the moment. We can make some signings towards the end of the window, but we have to look within the squad for the time being. Marco Fabian, who's been a fantastic player all season, just faded off a little bit this episode. Hasn't done anything of note after really carrying the team all season, but he looks to be back to his best at the beginning of this game at least. Some really bright moments, passing the ball through, couple shots on goal, and we're bombing forward here. The players look desperate, and Fabian, how has he missed that? Very uncharacteristic. He's getting in all the right spots, and he just can't quite finish the move. That shot just wide of the post, and that would have meant so much to the team. So 26 minutes in, more or less controlling the match. Some really good link-up play here between Shandon and Fabian, the 2 experienced forwards. We're looking to make something happen here, and Fabian just keeps going. Magical touch, and he looks for the head of Farfan, who is bundled off of it. No foul given, though, and we continue our press forwards here. Shandon looking for some sort of outlet here. Bozdogan playing out on the wing here in the 4-3-3. He's a player a little too special to keep on the bench. I don't know where to fit him in, though, with Fabian playing so well. I don't think he's going to start over him at attacking mid, but I can't let him go to waste on the bench. So he's given the shot on the left. Let's see if he can cut in and create some chances, but he's another player who might have an eye away from the club if we can't find a better home for him in the next couple of months here. Chandan putting a ball in, and again, we just can't finish. No way! Theo Jaggi right in front of goal. Ball fell to his feet, and he blasts it wide of the net. You can tell at this point the players are flustered. We're looking for goals, and they're just not coming. 60 minutes gone, score line still level, and Aliou forced into trying to make a challenge there. Makes a complete mess of it, misses his man, and Freddie scores. We find ourselves down. Absolutely heartbreaking. And that's the risk we run, I guess. Our best defender, Malik Chaw, has left the club. We're left with the players we have available for us. I mean, to be completely fair, Abner Aliou has had a fantastic season. That's one mistake from him. I'm not going to make too much of a big deal of it. He's still very young, and that's the risk we're going to run here, playing some of our youngsters and trying to develop talent in the squad. I have all confidence in the player. I think he's going to go on to be a very, very good talent there at center back, but, I mean, he's obviously not up to the kind of caliber that we had in a player like Malik Chaw. Chandan, maybe the final chance of the game with 10 minutes left here, and the goalkeeper gets to it first. Not the best touch from our captain. And despite all of our efforts here, again, we are seen through to defeat. 1-0, we can't score, we can't keep clean sheets, and this team is in full-blown crisis mode. Something has to give here. I don't know if we need new signings. I tried a new formation, maybe new tactics, maybe a morale boost. I'm not sure what to do at this point, but we're in a little bit of a dip now, and we move on. All right, well, I think I misspoke earlier. There were actually 2 games before the end of the January transfer window, so let's take a look at the highlights here. Before moving on, we'll make some new signings and bolster this squad here coming towards the end of the January transfer window, but we need results. I've been saying it all episode, and we have yet to find it, so the team is desperate. We're sticking with the 4-3-3 for now. I mean, like I said, it's my preferred formation. I don't care how long it takes us to get this down. We're going to find the players who suit this best. It's the way I like to play. It's worked for us in the past, and I'm going to stop experimenting around with formations that aren't working for this team. Some notable additions to the squad here. Luca Campanile, the right back, is given a chance after not really featuring too much this season, and although his man does get the better of him in this instance, he had a fantastic game. Really die-hard commitment to trying to win these challenges. He's a quick player, one who's not too bad going forwards either, and a very young player who can really develop over time and hopefully give Timo Becker some good competition for that right back spot. But where we need the most help right now is going forwards and trying to find a goal. Marco Fabian cutting it back inside. He lays it off. Theo Jaggi making the run deep out of midfield, and he scores finally. There we have it. The breakthrough, and Schalke go in front. It's been well-deserved. We've had a couple good opportunities, and Fabian, despite all his efforts, last episode not finding the back of the net, he gets an assist here, and hopefully it's the sign of better things to come the rest of this episode here. But a ball played in behind. Çalhanoğlu loses his man. Oh man, and again, I'm trying to find some sort of rotation at the back. Philip Oakes has given way to Çalhanoğlu, who's done a lot of progressing this year. He's up to 70 overall, so I gave him the chance, but not really making the most of it there, losing his marker. Campanile, on the other hand, only 60 or 61 overall, but he is having a great game, closing things down all over the back line, like you can see there. We're just trying to get the ball away at this point, coming up towards the end of the first half. It's been a pretty chaotic game back and forth here, and hopefully we come out ahead come the end of the game. Bujaleb given the chance on the left-hand side, not really impressing too much here, but the ball is played through for Fabian, who finds the head of Chandan. How about that for a goal? Composed as you like from our attacking midfielder, Marco Fabian, and between him and Chandan, the two of them linking up back and forth for plenty of goals this season, and I think we can expect plenty more if these couple of games are anything to go by. Not bad at all. Our captain chipping in again, and although he's maybe not lighting the world on fire this episode, he's chipping in with a few goals and not looking bad in the process. Fabian playing it through for the substitute, Igal Brook, who's looking to have a crack at goal. It's been disappointing for him yet to score this episode. Like I said, I don't want to put too much pressure on his shoulders, but we've seen what he can do, so when he doesn't score, it is disappointing. But speak of scoring, we concede again 2-2. Is this a sign of maybe not the best ending to the game here from us? Well, we got to make sure we try to end it on a good note here. 90 minutes. One more chance to score here. Bozdogan trying to play it through. Marco Fabian, edge of the area, opening up space. Saved by the goalkeeper. Another draw. Another blown game from us. And this is getting really, really disheartening at this point. We can't buy a win. I think that's 6 or 7 games off the bounce, winless. And I'm shivering a little bit thinking of how far we might have slipped down the table. Haven't taken a look at it for a while. We'll take a peek after this game. So with all eyes on the January transfer window, I think it's clear we need some signings. Well, it's happened. We're down to 9th place, and unfortunately, we're only 5 points off of a relegation spot at this point. We got 10 hours left in the window. It is deadline day. We're leaving our business until late in the window. I wanted to see how things panned out with the rest of our players, who was going to stay, who was going to leave. But I think we more or less have that down at this point. Kutuju wants out. He's looking for a way. He's not going to renew his contract. I'd rather cash in on him in January here than let him leave on a free at the end of the season. He's not featuring all that much anyways, so despite a couple bright moments, I think it's time for him to move on. In the meantime, here's what we could do with our back line. I'm thinking maybe we move Theo Jaggi out of midfield and just sign a midfielder for that spot. Aliou can still be backup, but I don't know if we should necessarily rely on him to be our starter all season. We have 20 million in the bank. We have money to spend after that big signing from Bayern Munich. So here's our options. I mean, I have a ton of players transfer listed. I don't necessarily know who's going to be the best fit for this team. I'm thinking a little more of an experienced player. Honestly, if I had my way, I'd get Sebastian Ruddy. He's a former Schalke player, 77 overall, but he's playing at AC Milan. He's starting there, so there's really no world in which he leaves for our team. So next best is Robert Andrich, really solid player. He's been all over Germany. And, I mean, I think he's the perfect fit for our squad, really. 27 years old, significantly more experienced than our youngsters, 74 overall. I think that would make him the best player in our team already, so he's coming in on a crucial contract. He's signing cautiously for 2 years under the assumption that he's going to help bring a big club like Schalke back to the Bundesliga, so if we fail to get promotion next season or the season after, he is out. Like I said, it's under the assumption that we continue to build this team and do well, so a lot riding on some of these new signings who come in kind of buying into the project. Next up, I think it's clear we need some kind of firepower up top. The wings, I think, are where we could improve. We're playing Bozdogan out there, not a natural winger. So we got a couple options, but really when it comes down to it, I think Florinel Coman is probably our best bet. We could grab him for about 15 million, and the deal goes through. So now it's just down to player negotiations. Can we get our man? The Romanian has been lighting up the Romanian league and is looking to make a jump up to a higher division here. 76 overall would not only make him the best player in our team, but one of the best in the entire league down here. And again, he's a player that is hesitant to sign. He's not unsure of where this club is going. Obviously, he's the kind of player that wants to be playing in the Bundesliga in a season or two. So we also managed to convince him to sign a 2-year deal, buy into our project, and he's another player who, if we don't win promotion next season or the season after, is going to be on his way out. And if I'm being completely honest, it's probably the same for a lot of our budding talents as well. So time is ticking, and we got to make something happen here. So with our new signings in the lineup, Andrich is a surefire bet in the middle of the pitch. We got a couple options here. I mean, we could maybe play Coman on the right-hand side, give Farfan a rest. I think we're going to start with him on the left. Bozdogan maybe coming off the bench and rotating with Fabian. We'll see. We got a couple options. It's good to have depth and a number of options to mix our lineup up a little bit. But I think both of these new signings are going to fit right into the team. 76 and 74 overall, respectively. Now make them the two, on paper at least, highest rated players in the team, and we expect big things from our signings. I mean, really, the way things have been going, we've fallen back into relegation territory, so it was important that we flexed our financial muscles a little bit after selling some of those players and get the ball rolling with some big talents in the team and really mark our interest here, and not only building the team for the future, but really making an immediate push for promotion next season. So Andrich signs for 5 million. In the meantime, like I mentioned, Ahmed Kutucu has moved away and actually secured himself a move to Sevilla. Really promising player. I mean, I know he didn't necessarily light up the league for us, but I think he has a bright future ahead of him, and we get a hefty sum of 10 million in return for it. We obviously signed Coman for 15, and we also sold Boujaleb for 8.5 million to West Brom, who are now in the Premier League, so it's a great opportunity for him. Another player, super high potential, but just wasn't really getting minutes. I mean, he's behind the pecking order. Fabian and Bozdogan both ahead of him for attacking mid, so he just didn't have much of a spot in our team. And here we go. Like I said, 11th place now, 5 points off of relegation, really 4 at this point, depending on how goal differential swings. So we're in a fight here through the rest of the season. We got some players to help us out, and hopefully we can get the job done. It's all going to wrap up in the next 2 episodes, so you won't want to miss those. In the meantime, please consider subscribing, and I'll be back soon with next episode. But until then, I'm Respect the Jeff, and I'll see you next time.